Hey gang, Jackalator here, just with another pickups video. This one is going to be kind of interesting because there are a whole lot of different things that I picked up, two of which I'm going to have to stop in the middle of this and go out to the car to get because I forgot them. Let's start with the thrift shop that I normally go to. Now I picked up one thing, which is a board game. The glare for you, which is the original Dungeon. Now essentially what this is that this is a board game where you can play Dungeons and Dragons. It's a very limited version. It's kind of a dungeon crawl, but you can play it without a GM of any kind, which is kind of cool because you basically go through and you pick what you want to be, whether you want to be a wizard, a fighter, a warrior, blah blah blah, paladin, so on and so forth. And then there are monster cards and there are spell cards and treasure cards. So you basically go into an area and you flip over the monster card and aha, that's the monster you have to fight. And then you roll dice to figure out if you kill that monster. If you kill that monster, you get the treasure. Spell cards, you can throw out spell cards, and the rules are pretty much the same as D&D, but it boils down to just a few dice rolls. Now the other things that I got while I was there is, one, I picked up this nice little guy. It's a Nintendo cleaner, and it's kind of cool, because essentially what you do is you got the little thing in there, you squirt some stuff on it, you go like that, and then you go and it cleans it out. Just kind of neat. Now that I have a Super Nintendo, I can actually use that. While I was there, also picked up, these were all $2.98 except for the board game was $1.91. I picked up Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Now I picked this up just because my son absolutely loves Power Rangers. And if I remember right, this game is actually playable by him. Some of the other games are kind of as far as letting a 4-year-old even try and play it. And I also managed to pick up a great one, Super Metroid. Now, I have Super Metroid on the Wii, on Virtual Console, but it is just not the same. Even with the classic controller, it's just not the same. Because I remember we spent like an entire weekend at my friend Julie's house. Whole bunch of us, all over their house. And we're just playing Super Metroid. And we're just going through and we're going through and we're going through. And we beat it. I think it took us 2 weekends, maybe. But we beat the game, which was just amazing. And it is definitely a game that I look forward to taking a weekend, sitting down with my son and playing, because this is one of those games that is a tentpole game from my childhood that actually holds up. It's still, in many people's minds, the best Metroid. Now, the next thing I did is I went to some pawn shops, which normally I don't find very much in the pawn shop directions. But I did happen to find, the first one I went to, found 2 games. One of them is a Wii game, which is Puzzle Kingdoms. Now it's basically, if you're familiar with Puzzle Quest, it's very similar to that. And my son and I really like, we like Bejeweled, for one, and we like RPGs. So this seemed something that we can both kind of pop in, mess around with. If there's an actual game there, hooray. And that was $2.50, and this was $2.50 as well, which is Wipeout 3. Now I love the Wipeout series. I'm not sure what Wipeout 3, if it's one of the good ones, bad ones. I mean, they're all good, but I don't know if DualShock done by Psygnosis. But there you go. Wipeout 3. Nice one to add to the PlayStation collection. And the next thrift shop that I went to, or excuse me, pawn shop, I picked up 2 Game Boy games, and the first one is kind of rough, and it is Roland's Curse, and it's kind of banged up and beat up, but I remember that I always wanted to play this game, but I never got it. So now I have a chance to sit down and play it on the Game Boy, which is nice. And the next one is in ridiculously immaculate condition, to the point where I know I can see that it's been put into a Game Boy once or twice, but that is Super Mario Land. And this is just one of those games where it's still fun. I mean, it's on the Game Boy, and Game Boy did not have the best screen, but you know, it's Mario. Jump, run fast, jump, use fireballs, which is pretty awesome. Oh, before we get to the arcade auction, let me run out to the car real quick. Alright, so my co-worker noticed that some of the toys at my desk were getting a little stale, so we needed to get some new ones. And Family Dollar had buy one get one 50% off. So I picked up two different ones. The first one is the quick change robot system, insect robots, and we'll do a review of those, kind of take a look at those later. And also picked up Robot Fighter, which is a little Lego guy that you put together. It looks kind of like a mech. Big Mech Warrior fan, so very cool. So those get to go on the desk now. So I went to an arcade auction because there was another one in Dallas, but they had moved from Mesquite over to Fair Park. Now Fair Park is where the Cotton Bowl is, for those of you who don't know, and it's a little tricky to get in and out of if you don't know your way around, which I didn't. So ended up very interesting. Now I ended up picking some things up, mostly just some parts here and there, and I've kind of got the box sorted out. Of course, when you buy a box, there are going to be some tokens in it. Got some tokens, just kind of random. Let's see. Say hello to my little friend. Namco gun. Let me go let the dog in. Let me go let the dog in. No. Seriously, I'll be right back. Alright, dog's taken care of. Now, on top of that, I also have a like shotgun here. I don't know what game this one's from. Not even a marking on it. Hap controls. I don't know. But there's that. And then of course, there's my littler friend. This one's from Midway. I don't know, once again, don't know what game it's from. Sure, I'll find out. I haven't done a lot of research on these. They were, you know, crayon colored guns in a box. I was like, sure. And then there, also in the box are a bunch of these, which are the holsters. So you mold these onto things, and you put this in there, and it sits like that. Poor example, but you get the idea. This would probably be more along the line of this one. So you would mount this here, and then put the shotgun in like that. Now, what do I do with these? Well, I have a bit of a problem. I like to collect gun cons. I don't know why. But, and then if I find out they're not working, I generally do different things with them, repaint them, whatever. And that's about it for there. So now I'll actually mount those on a board and then have all the gun cons like sticking in them so that they're somewhat organized. And then of course I picked up one more thing, which is my cyber slide. Now, I've got it turned on real quick, and I'm just doing it for the review. The monitor takes a little while to warm up, and this side is not working at all right now, and there are reasons for that, which is why I can't leave it on for too long, is that in my brief research, I got this side all working, and then started tinkering with the other side, and it went whew. And come to find out that there are supposed to be fans underneath it, but whoever had had this before me had unplugged the fans. So it got real warm, and that side stopped working. This side's still working like a champ, but I figured that I can use CPU fans, put them in there, and they'll blow and actually keep it cool so that it will actually work. So let's take a little bit of a closer look real quick. The lighting is going to be horrible, I do apologize for that, but it's got the two chairs, the red and the blue. Now the blue only has one speaker and it's not hooked up. I need to tear it apart and hook it back up. The red one actually does have both speakers. I had to tear the controls off to get it in the door, but they are working. And the little marquee, of course, and there's how much I paid for it, $10. Cyber sled. So with a little bit of luck, I can get the other side working. Need some fans in there. And then I think one of the joysticks is a little wonky. I have found out that adjusting joysticks, that's friggin' hard, man. Like this one, I had to, because you have to play with it and change the alignment of it to where one screw turns where the center is and the other one changes where it starts becoming active. But every time you change one, it changes the other a little bit, so you have to go back and forth and back and forth. And it's really annoying, or at least I found it annoying. But it does work. Let me go ahead and turn the sound up a little. And the cool thing is that once you get both of them working, you can play against your teammate or against your friend. And I love these kind of games. I love this one. Virtual On, I think is the other one. Let me go ahead. But yeah, so that's it for pickups. Those are the pickups that I got this week. I'll see you again Wednesday with more of Xenosaga Episode 1. We actually get to play around in the real world this time. So, thank you very much for watching, and as always, play on!